Good afternoon. My name is Keith Boylan. I'm the Deputy Secretary here at Calvet, and I oversee the Veteran Services Division. The Justice Involved Veterans Program it's an evolution of a variety of different pieces. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs has always had a veteran justice outreach program where they have an individual who covers the north and south part of the states. The Department of Veterans Affairs had worked with the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to establish a list that identified those folks that were incarcerated who either self-identified or were identified through the Department of Veterans Affairs as veterans. So a big part that really started this process was our interagency agreement with the Department of Corrections to be able to attain this list and to understand who among the veteran population was currently incarcerated. As that grew, we started to get that list, we started to make connections with those folks, started to establish relationships with the Department of Corrections, more access to the facilities, and provide the opportunity for us to go in and provide direct services.
My name is Mary Donovan. I'm a Veterans Claims Analyst for Calvet, specifically the CDCR program, so the program that brings Veterans Claims Analysts into the state prisons. And I've been doing this for a little over 3 years now. You know, when we started, we were really confronted with a backlog of need. I mean, it was decades that some of these veterans had not been able to access appropriate support in getting their claims filed. You know, the counties, these are state prisons, they're in counties, but the county veteran service officers weren't always able to assist them. Sometimes they did through valiant efforts, but it was hard. So we really stepped into a service gap and a lot of longstanding need. The veterans contact us through a variety, really any way they can. They write a lot, there's a lot of mail, particularly during the pandemic. We exchanged a lot of mail. They also were allotted free time to make phone calls, which they hadn't had before. And so now they can use, we can't take the collect calls, but now we can take their calls that they're able to make with their free minutes. So we get a lot of phone calls now, which is terrific. That means you can actually speak with the veteran.
My name is Stephen Smith. I work for California Department of Veteran Affairs, and I'm a veteran claim analyst. It's all about making sure that the veterans understand the VA process as a whole. It's up to us to understand what those federal regulations are and to interpret them in a way for the veterans to understand the process in order to have it benefit them with their claims. And so in addition to that, we schedule VA examiners to go to the prisons and examine the veterans.
My name is Elizabeth Hargrove Washington. They call me Liz. I am a California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation's liaison, working with assisting incarcerated veterans with their VA benefits and other veterans needs they might need. Helping them with the transition process especially. We don't want to abandon them as soon as they get out. Our primary scope of our duties are working with incarcerated veterans, but by the time they get out, they've already established a rapport with us, a comfort level. We've usually by then helped them submit their claim, answer questions about the status, help them get their exams, so they feel more comfortable on the outside. And sometimes they don't have the means to get to the closest county veterans organization, or they're still trying to get settled on the outside, so it's almost easier for them to continue their claim with us.
My name is Roberto Herrera. I'm an Assistant Deputy Secretary here in the Veteran Services Division at Calvet. So what our local interagency network coordinators and the county veteran service officers do for these veterans when they're re-entering into their communities is try and work with them and along with probation and parole to make sure that all the benefits and services they may need, whether that's additional health care, education, housing, employment services, that those are all provided for that veteran in a culturally competent way. So one thing about our Justice Involved initiative that's really unique is the data sharing that we have with CDCR includes the projected release date for the veteran and the projected release county for the veteran. And what that allows us to do is to really set up the community-based system of care before that veteran is received by that county to begin their reentry. I don't think any of us can really understand that transition from being incarcerated and then coming back into your community. Here at Calvet, we want to make sure that as that veteran makes that transition, that the first step outside of course, probation or parole, is the County Veteran Service Office. And that County Veteran Service Officer will sit down with the veteran and really go over, do they have adequate access to health care? Do they have adequate access to housing? Are they getting the mental health care in the community that they need in a culturally competent way? Our local interagency network coordinators, along with our other outreach staff, assist that veteran and that County Veteran Service Officer in finding those organizations that provide that veteran the greatest possible quality of life and ensuring their success in their reentry.
The letters and cards that we get are really beautiful and really validating. You know, you get a card that's made out of a manila folder and it's got in colored pencil covered with what looks like Elmer's glue, and the envelope is handmade, you know, because they have to be resourceful. And it just adds such a depth of meaning to the expression of gratitude.
I'm writing this email today to thank you for all that you've done for myself and my family. Since we met in prison, of course in different circumstances, I spoke to you about receiving the help and guidance I needed to help navigate the tsunami that the VA is. That was the first time during my few years in the system that somebody spoke to me with respect and attentiveness. And I was shocked that there was somebody who has not given up on me for once, other than my wife. Because of you, I was able to get back on my feet and actually catapulted me ahead to where I was able to purchase a home for my wife and 3 boys. Your assistance got me the mental help that I desperately needed, which in turn has made me a better father, husband, and man. It truly changed my life and the lives of my family.